Stories of peculiar customs and symbols, some that make you laugh and others that pique your curiosity, some fact and some fiction. Vijay Prabhat, the managing director of Story Trails, has taken storytelling to a whole new level. With an IIM graduate at the head of the helm, and a crew of engineers, radio jockeys and a whole bunch of excited people, the Story Trails journey and how they got to their current destination is a fascinating story unto itself.
When we started, our first challenge was to look for this animal called storyteller. Where do you look for storytellers? Because in the market, there is no precedent and there is no animal called storytellers which exists. What qualifications do you look for? What skill sets do you look for? What do you pay them? So we broke it down into basics and said, if we need a storyteller, what are the skill sets that you want? And they're very simple. You need a person with a pleasant personality. You need somebody who enjoys speaking to an audience. You want somebody who is genuinely interested in learning new things, because that's what we do day in and day out. That's how we went about building the team we have today. And we're very fortunate to have a team like this, which is a diverse mix of people who could have made a mark in other industries, but they have chosen to come to this industry and they have stayed on.
As a travel lover, Vijay's journeys have been less about sightseeing, more about meeting people, exchanging stories, sharing tradition, and that's exactly what Vijay and his team at Story Trails are trying to replicate.
The very first service that we started with was these services for visitors to the city. And drawing from my own personal experience, where some of the best tours I've taken in my life have had nothing to do with the place itself. It's the way that the place has been presented and brought alive. This focus on presentation is what we do at Story Trails, where we focus on researching these stories and digging out interesting information about common everyday things, and then scripting them, and then finding a way to creatively present these stories. So our entire focus is on creating an enjoyable experience for the audience and not just to cover so much of information in our trails.
The Story Trails team conducts dry runs before any of the new trails make their debut. Thanks to the hard work and the creative capacities of the storytellers, the trails don't sound rehearsed. Though the content of a particular trail remains the same irrespective of who leads it, the delivery tends to differ depending on the clients.
Today our trails cover a wide range of topics, from customs and traditions and religion, to dances, jewelry, to cars, astronomy, magnetism, air, light. So you name a topic, we can create a trail for it. But then the way we present these trails is very different, depending on who the audience is and what the intention of that entire gathering is. So for toddlers, for instance, when we do trails for 3-4-year-olds, there is very little talk. It's a lot more sensorial. We get them to hug trees, we get them to pot plants, we get them to smell leaves. The same thing when we do a trail for expats. The focus is on a lot more talk. The focus is on a lot more interaction, right? So when we tell them a story, invariably they come back with a story of their own, saying this is how things happen in my part of the world. And that makes it a really interesting experience for us.
There are about 60 trails for children, more than 10 for adults, besides workshops and theme-based parties. However, the core focus of Story Trails seems to have evolved quite a bit over the years.
See, when we started our services, we started as a service for visiting expats, and the idea was to showcase the local way of life using stories. Very soon we realized that we were not a service for expats alone. More than half of our guests were people born, brought up in Chennai, and they would go back just as fascinated with these stories. So our focus being on presentation, we realized that we could take it to many different audiences. We went and took these services to kids of all age groups, where the theme remains the same. It's stories behind everyday sights. So we don't create infrastructure for them, we don't take them to exotic places, we take them to ordinary everyday places, vegetable markets, cinema studios, radio stations. But we make that experience a lot more enjoyable for them. So while there is a lot of information that's presented, it's all disguised as fun.
So next time you travel, even within Chennai, remember every place has a story to tell. So don't merely walk on by, linger on, stay a while and dig deeper for stories untold. But for our next story, we didn't have to look that hard. There was chaos and commotion on Kadhanavaskan Road, coupled with terrible traffic jam. Let's find out what the noise was all about. A huge crowd had gathered, eager to check out the flashy setup outside one of the most recent additions to the Kadhanavaskan Road. Well, it was all for the launch of the flagship store of Anams, the international menswear brand in Chennai.
Anams is an international brand from Middle East, a product of Arif & Sons Group, and I'm promoting the brand here in India, in Chennai. We're happy to be here in Chennai. It's a good location where we are right now. It's a very reasonable brand. It's very reasonably priced at about 1,000 to 1,400, which a common man can easily afford it. So, and we are just targeting very mass. Inshallah, things will be fine for us.
Anams has an extensive collection comprising trendy denims from Turkey, formal and evening wear made from Italian fabric, bags, belts and a whole lot more to help you make a unique style statement. The glittering evening had a fashion show choreographed by Karun Raman, which for a change was outside the store and almost spilled out onto the road. Pretty ladies and handsome hunks trotted their stuff on the ramp, and adding to the glam quotient of the evening were top Kollywood celebs Bharat and Sneha.
I've done quite few shows and I've never worn men's shirts, and I've always been in like nice diva or nice saris or gagras. This is the first time I'm like going to be in denim and check shirt. This is men's shirt in fact. I'm happy, I'm excited about this. I always like to wear something very funky and simple, and today I'm like happy.
Fashion has always been a part of me, and I love updating myself with fashions and a lot of clothing. I shop a lot as well. I'm a big time shoppy. So in that case, Anam is always, he's been my long-term friend, and Karun Raman has also been a long-term friend. So these collections are more, I'm more of a guy who loves smart casuals, who loves a simple shirt or a simple t-shirt with a nice jeans and a shoes. So, and this collection is all about very simple and very stylish. And to be precise, Anam's, what I'm wearing right now, it's kind of very trendy but shows your casuality as well. So that's how it goes, and nowadays youngsters would love to be on a simple note rather being too much into the clothing. So in that case, Anam is doing really well, and I'm really happy for Anam and his team for making it such a one big store and launching it in a bigger way.
It was quite a happening evening, and I think I've become a fan of their denim wear. Anyway, it's a wrap on this week's show, but if you have an interesting story that we could use, mail us at feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. Till next week then, take care.